Welcome, beloved soul travelers. This isn't just a video. This is sacred soil, a mirror, a sprouted remembrance, a soul testimony, a mythic monologue, a sacred rebellion wrapped in truth. I am Isa'Rose Sophia, voice of Sprout from Darkness and Petals behind Petals and Thorns. Before I was a CEO, a creator, or a soul storyteller, I was a little girl learning how to survive silence. This episode is a space of resonance for anyone who has faced childhood trauma without tools, been misdiagnosed, misunderstood, or mislabeled, created art from agony, and built altars from ashes. This story is not to impress, it's to inspire. Healing isn't linear, becoming isn't always beautiful, but it's always possible. Seeds for the sprouts. You don't need to be finished to be faithful to your path. Even your rawness can be a resource. Even your tears can water someone else's roots. Problem this helps solve. Feeling like your pain makes you unqualified to lead or love. This story reframes the messy middle as your most sacred soil. Rooted in rupture. The wound is not the end. It's the womb of the warrior. I grew up in a house where silence screamed louder than fists. By 13, I was in courtrooms. From there, group homes, therapy, mandates, and street survival. As a teen, I was sexually exploited. Not because I was lost, but because society never gave sanctuary to the already broken. Though I earned credentials like my real estate license and an administrative health specialist certificate, my spirit was starving. I wore many masks. One was named Serenity Delve. But beneath them, spirit whispered in sign, dreams, and sacred unrest. Then came December 5th, 2018. Federal arrest. Conspiracy charges to sex trafficking. My world collapsed, but my soul cracked open. Seeds for the sprouts. Your pain does not disqualify you from purpose. It may actually be the spiritual boot camp to initiate your purpose. Problem this helps solve. Shame around origin stories and traumatic beginnings. You are not your past. You are what outlives it. The cracks that called me. Diagnosis is not a death sentence. It's a doorway to design. After the arrest, I entered halfway houses. In October 2019, I arrived at Ava's house in Boston. A safe home for survivors and families of sex trafficking and sexual exploitation. Through therapy, mirror work, and group recovery, I whisper daily, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, accepting one day at a time, and knowing that hardships are the pathway to peace. It became breath, bridge, battle cry. Then came more labels. The PTSD, depression and anxiety, borderline personality disorder. The list goes on. The world fears the last one. I no longer do, because I see the sacred beneath the stigma. Seed for the sprouts. Your diagnosis is not your defect. It's your design asking for devotion. When you name your pain, you reclaim your power. Problem this helps solve. Being misunderstood by medical language and societal labels. It reframes diagnosis as initiation into deeper knowing. The split, the sigil, the sacred self. What fractured you can also forge you. When the mind splits due to trauma, the soul compensates. Lucia Lilith, my dark feminine fire. Gypsy Nix, my rebellious angel light. They were not delusions, they were design. Not dysfunction, but divine defense. With BPD, every emotion is wildfire, but I learned to alchemize it into sanctuary, storytelling, and soul work. Seed for the sprouts. Your parts aren't broken, they're blueprints. Let your archetypes become your altar. Problem this helps solve. Feeling ashamed of emotional intensity or identity shifts. This act reframes fragmentation as sacred myth making. The garden I built. Your breakdown is someone else's blueprint. Girl from Darkness wasn't born from branding. It was born on bathroom floors, in whispers, in rage, in rituals. Now it's a sanctuary for soul survivors, a toolbox for other misunderstood mystics, a blueprint for sacred rebellion. We offer journals, guided meditations, mythic storybooks, sacred resources, seeds for the sprouts. Your art does not need to be polished to be powerful. You don't have to wait to bloom. Problem this helps solve. The myth that you must be healed to help others. Lead from within the spiral, not just the summit. Closing, from soil to stage. You are not a comeback. You are a covenant. By divine grace, I graduate from Holyoke Community College with my associates in human services. Chosen as the 2025 commencement speaker. This summer, I begin my bachelor's in psychology at university. But beyond the titles, I'm a sacred rebellion in bloom. I'm a ritual archivist. I am what bloomed from the basement of despair. I am not a burden, I'm a blueprint. I am not too much, I'm a mirror. I am not broken, I am becoming. Seed for the sprouts. Don't rush the bloom, but don't bury it either. You are not too late, you are becoming. Problem this helps solve. Mid-healing hopelessness. Reminder that the spiral is sacred, even in its stretch. Journal and Resource Spotlight. The 31-Day Soul Spiral Journal, May Mental Health Awareness Edition. This is not just a journal. It's a mirror, a ritual, a soft rebellion. Starting in week 1, rooting in remembrance. Day 1, the spark before the story. Day 2, the garden you forgot. Day 3, the first wound. Day 4, the voice beneath the noise. Day 5, divine memory activation. Day 6, who you were before they told you who to be. Day 7, rooting in the spiral. Week 2, meeting the shadow with softness. Day 8, the soft descent. Day 9, a letter to grief. Day 10, James' mirror. Day 11, Sophia's echo. Day 12, guilt as guardian. Day 13, the sacred contradiction. Day 14, naming the wound, reclaiming the power. Week 3, we enter Gnosis as healing. In day 15, we delve into who gets to name you. Day 16 is the spiral medicine. Day 17 begins your myth of madness. Day 18 breaks down diagnosed, not defined. Day 19 is neurodivergence as gift. Day 20, Gnosis is in the body. Day 21, I am the author now. Going into the last week, becoming the bloom. Day 22, the garden within. Day 23, crowned in contradiction. Day 24, the 13th aeon lives in me. 25, resurrection isn't clean. On day 26, we bloom anyways. On day 27, we spiral into sacred sovereignty. On day 28, we go full circle and still blooming. Day 29 enters the mirror, remembers. And day 30, we go from silence to song. And on day 31, the bloom is becoming. Each day includes a reflection prompt, a guided ritual, a spoken affirmation, and a soul seed quote. We also offer free downloads on our website at www.sproutfromdarkness.com. Check out the store website or the Amazon link in the description. Plus, the 13th Aeon storybook, The Garden That Remembered the Stars. Now available in sigil signed editions on the website, and also available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Links in description. Sprout from Darkness is more than a platform. It's a soul reclamation movement. If you're interested, check out our blogs on Medium at Isa'Rose Reflection and at risenrose.sproutfromdarkness. Links in the description. Also, listen to the Sprouted Reflections of Isa'Rose podcast on Spotify. This was not just a story, it was a remembering. You are the myth, the mirror, the bloom. From silence to sovereignty, from breakdown to bloom, we rise. Final word. If this reflection stirred something sacred within you, don't let the petals fall in silence. Like this video if it rooted resonance in your soul. Subscribe to walk the spiral with us. Share it with someone who's still in the dark. Leave a comment below. Your story is soil for someone else's bloom. And I'll leave you with this. You are not behind. You are beneath, where the real roots grow. Isa'Rose Sophia, sprout from the darkness, from petals and thorns, from soil to stage. Beloved, we rise and bloom anyway.